first thing happened is the earthquake hit. I was in a room by myself. I had the front bedroom. Being the oldest, I had the nicest room. And my mom's grandmother was staying there with us at the time. And I went to check and make sure everybody was okay. And then we went outside and turned on the radio. And that's when I found out that the VA hospital buildings had collapsed because we couldn't get through to my mom, who was there at the working at the time.
Your mom worked at the VA hospital?
At the VA hospital up on Sayre.
Yeah. What did she do there?
She was a nurse.
She was a nurse?
She was working graveyard shift that night.
So she wasn't at home during the earthquake. She was at work at the hospital.
She happened to be working at the time.
And your father? Was he there?
Father was at home.
He was at home?
Yes.
Okay. When the quake hit, what did it feel like to you? I mean, was this your first earthquake?
Yeah, it was the first one. It was, I don't know how to describe it, but it was shaking pretty bad.
Yeah.
I was able to get out, and I was on one side of the house and the rest of the family was on the other side. So
Gotcha.
we just checked it and make sure everybody was okay.
And everybody was?
Everybody was fine.
How many people in your family were home?
Well, there was two brothers, two sisters, my grandmother, and my dad.
Okay. And so what was the immediate reaction once you figured out everybody was okay? And then, of course, you found out, you said you turned on the radio.
Well, we wanted to find out, make sure Mom was okay.
Yeah. What did you do then?
Well, I think Dad got the radio, turned on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
We had a transistor radio.
But obviously, you guys were concerned about your mom. So.
Well, we found out that something was happening up at the hospital. So my dad wanted to go up there to check it out. So I went there with my dad, and the two little kids stayed. I think Nancy and Eric and I went up there with them.
I stayed with them.
It was good. Okay.
And so you guys went up to the hospital. Well,
I remember going up and going along Eldridge,
mm-hmm.
and all the fences were knocked down, and buildings were collapsed, and I remember Dad wanted me to take home movies of the trip up there, and I didn't want to, but I took a couple because I was more concerned about what happened to my mom.
Yeah.
So
were you and your mom close?
Yes. Well, I was the oldest.
Yeah. Okay. Were there first responders out there, fire trucks, anything out there when you were out there at the point, or had they not gotten there yet?
There was nobody there hardly. We just saw that guy that got up there and saw all the buildings that had collapsed.
Mm.
And we couldn't find Mom. My mom wasn't available. So my dad wanted to bring the kids back to the house, and I stayed there by myself and just started looking through the buildings for the wreckage.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember coming around a corner and finding one lady that was dead, and then it got crushed. And I heard somebody, one of the nurses screamed, "It's Janet," which was my mom. And they found her, but she was badly crushed, and they wouldn't let me look at her.
Hmm.
So I had to wait until my dad came back, and I had to tell my dad. And then we drove home. We told the rest of the family.
So you found your mom's body, or you found
Well,
you.
I was when she was discovered, I was probably about 100 feet away.
Okay.
I'm sort of glad I didn't,
Yeah, I would imagine so.
because we viewed the body later, and she was badly crushed. She
Hmm.
couldn't tell it.
Was your first desire when you heard that someone yelled it was Janet, and you realized it was probably your mom? Was your first desire to go there, or was your first desire to not go there?
Well, I think I was ambivalent about it. I wanted to, but then I didn't want to.
Did, when the other nurses or workers saw you, did they realize you were her son?
Yeah, yes.
I mean, so what I'm trying to get at is, did they come up to you to comfort you when they realized it was probably your mom?
Not really.
So you were left there on your own to deal with it.
Well, they were still looking through wreckage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, and I can't imagine anybody listening to this what would go through my head or somebody's head, and I'd like to ask you what went through your mind at that time, if you don't mind.
Well, I was badly shaken. It was the first time in my life I lost somebody that was close to. It
Experience.
changed the course of my life,
Mm-hmm.
because I was going to be a doctor, and after Mom died, lost all interest in it.
And why was that?
Well, there wasn't the support for being a doctor. The family was having a lot of problems.
Mhm.
Where we weren't dealing with it very good.
Because you were planning on going to Occidental from there, and you did go to Occidental, right?
Yeah, just that happened. I got accepted to Occidental at UCLA. And I probably was going to go to UCLA because we didn't have enough money to go to Occidental.
Mhm.
But because Mom died, my family's the financial status changed, and I got a scholarship.
Hmm. How long had your mom been working there? You know?
Well, since we were got to Sylmar, I guess 1968.
68. So she'd been working there for 3 years. Did you move from someplace else?
We moved from Saginaw, Michigan.
Michigan. Was she a nurse in Saginaw?
She was a nurse in Saginaw, and a nurse.
And what did your dad do?
Well, my dad worked for the air pollution control, and remember back in the day when they used to tell you how bad the smog was going to be.
How pink the air was? Orange the air was?
Yeah, so he'd take readings, and it was a good job.
Yeah.
It was a good county.
You obviously have quite a different experience than the other people that we've interviewed. And what did you guys do?
Basically just cried a lot. I remember like the kids in the back, the young kids in the back with Dad crying. Everybody had to go through it.
Yeah.
In fact, most of that is like a blur.
Yeah, I imagine.
I remember the gravesite service that we had at Eternal Valley up in Newhall.
Right.
And the best thing about it was all the coaches from high school. Bob Miller, Myron Gifford,
Yeah.
Tony Calvo, John, I can't remember the B football coach, John Haynes. They all came there to show support. I thought that was.
I'm sure you thought about this many times. What would it be that if you had to say something to your mom, what would you say? If you could talk to her today?
We'll probably say I love her and I miss her. But so many other things happened because of her dying that would never have happened. Dad got remarried and she had two girls and two boys all the same age. So bought a beautiful house up in Newhall, and they called us the Brady Bunch. Or Eight is Enough was on at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had four beautiful stepbrothers and stepsisters. So it changed my whole life. There's some things I dealt with good, and a lot of things I dealt with wrong. We had to deal with finding our own way. Everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, and I think the most important thing that I wanted to have was to be a good father to my kids. So I had 3 boys, and my dad ran marathons. He became an avid runner,
Really?
and he had stopped smoking. And I remember we always used to complain to my mom to not smoke, because there's nothing more than an ex-addict that pushes people to.
Yeah.
But one thing about my dad is I remember the only regret he had is he only did 49 marathons. He didn't do 50.